sharks gave us all a fight. Close encounters every night. Horror feels so sharp and bright. Time tripping through the movie show from ages past where stories flow. Fantasy realms where dragons grow. Laughing loud where heroes glow. Comedy flair, ghosts up in the air would fare. Blade Runner made me stop and stare. Sci-fi tales beyond compare. In the 90s action rose so high. Terminator never say die. Jurassic roars under the sky. Magic worlds where wizards fly. Time tripping through the movie show from ages past where stories flow. Fantasy realms where dragons grow. Laughing loud where heroes glow. Ideas with no new takes. Give us new stuff for gene's sake. Entertaining stuff you need to make. Stuff for gene's sake. Entertaining stuff you need to make. I've been once thought about with you.
Hey up, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to the next episode, exciting episode you might even say, of my top 5 favourite films from each year since I was born. Why don't I just call it what the name of that song was that we were just seen? That Old Yorkshire Geek's Real Time, R-E-R-E-L time, whatever. But anyway, welcome to the show. We're on 1989, as you can see there. You can't really make out what that picture is, really, can you? But anyway, never mind. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Questions here saying, I wonder what they will be. Well, you won't have to wonder much longer because I'm going to tell you. Anyway. Right, we're live on YouTube, yes, we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch. Hooray. Right, where was I? Description. Check the description for links for stuff like merch, and me books, and me Patreon, and websites, and stuff like that. Become a member, and then you can see exclusive videos, and early access videos, and exclusive emojis in the chat, and stuff like that. Right, so speaking of being a member, I'm going to I'm going to gift some free memberships. So that's what I'm going to do when I work it out. I'm going to gift some memberships. So here we go. I'm going to do 5 because I'm not loaded. So just let me do this. So time for some, yes, member drop, says Win Grace. Right. Who's going to get gifted these memberships? Who knows? It's all a mystery. Because it's up to YouTube, innit? Just hand them out at random. Right, who's getting these then? Who's getting these? Clifton 3D. Oh, cool. I didn't even know I'd remember this channel. President-elect Jackie Bird, Scottish Geek guy, Laura Smith. And is that 1, 2, 3? Should be one more. Oh, Quest. There, sorry. And Quest has been gifted the membership. Yay. Right. Cool. Okie dokie. Right, so that's that done with. Gift us some memberships. Lords of the Deep, perhaps. No, that's not in there. Is that from 1989? I might have seen that. It does ring a bell, but it's not on my list. Or perhaps Bill and Ted's. No, I've never been a huge fan of that film. I've not, I don't hate it or anything like that, but it's not in my favourites. Not even in my honourable mentions, I don't think. But anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get on with it. I'll go through I've got my top 5 favourite films. Not the best films, my personal favourite films. They're not in any order. It's not a countdown. It's not, number 5 is the least favourite of the 5, and number 1's not the most favourite. They're not in any order. It's just a list. And then I've got, I think, 11 honourable mentions. But anywho, we'll get on with it, shall we? So, right. Let's let me full screen my other screen. I've done that wrong, haven't I? Have I? No, I haven't. Right, there we go. I'm going to add it to the stage. Right, first up, number 1. Although it's not my favourite of this particular... You know what I mean? Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. I love this film. A lot of people, even Star Trek fans, don't like this. But I love Star Trek V. It's got my favourite scene in any Star Trek movie. The campfire scene where they're singing "Row, row, row your boat." Love that scene. Obviously, starring the gang: William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, etc. All them. Directed by William Shatner. Were hampered by a special effects, a visual effects company that wasn't really up to the task. And it got its budget slashed and stuff like that. So it never turned out to be the film that William Shatner wanted it to be. But it's still a lot of fun. And, what does God need with a starship? Who knows? But anyway. Wingris says, I like parts of it, and it's better than with the fan theory, but parts of it are just boring. In my opinion. I don't think it's, in my opinion, even. I don't think it's boring at all. I don't know. Which parts are boring? I don't know. But anyway. Quest says, one of my favourites from 89 is K9, Jim Belushi, and Jerry Lee the dog. No, that's not in my list either. Right, so that's the first one, number 5, number 1, whatever you want to call it. Next up is... No, I honestly can't remember. And I usually have some notes for each film, but I've forgotten tonight. But anyway. Next up, Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. I went to see this 3 times at the cinema that year. Anyway, so the last proper Indiana Jones film, because after that we got crap, didn't we? We got 2 rubbish films, but this is a lot of fun. Indiana Jones and his dad, Sean Connery, as Professor Henry Jones. Indy's just a doctor. He's just Dr. Jones, but his dad's a professor. But I forgot what to say. Played by Sean Connery, who was only 12, still is. Well, not anymore, he's dead, isn't he? But at the time, we were only 12 years older than Harrison Ford, but never mind. A lot of fun. They go on another rip-roaring adventure. It harkens back to the first film. I think they kind of tried to put the second film behind them, or out of the way, because a lot of people didn't like Temple of Doom. I didn't mind it, but I didn't think it was as good as the first one, and I like this one more. But some people think Temple of Doom is the best Indiana Jones film, but I don't. But anyway. Quest says, I know this ship like the back of my concussion. Yes, that's That's good old Scotty in Star Trek 5. But obviously directed by Steven Spielberg, and it ends, with them all riding off into the sunset. So this is the last proper Indiana Jones film. Never mind what came after. Right, what's next? James Bond film, License to Kill, starring Timothy Dalton in his second and final Bond movie. Directed by John Glenn, who directed all of the 80s James Bond films. But this is the Bond film that they had a break after this for, I think, 6 years. I think it's 6 years until Pierce Brosnan took up the mantle. But this is a good one. It's a good one. Is License to Kill. It's a bit more adult. I think it was the first Bond film to be given a 15 certificate in the UK. I don't know what it got in America, because it's more violent than the other films. A fella gets eaten by sharks, and a man explodes in a decompression chamber, and all that stuff. It's bags of fun. But anyway, Bond goes rogue in this one, because he's out to get the man who almost killed his friend Felix Leiter. The returning, I forgot the name of the fella that plays him, David Thingamabob, the fella that plays Felix Leiter. The only fella to play Felix Leiter twice, I think. Well, no, he ain't now, is he? He ain't now, because Jeffrey, what's-his-face, played Felix Leiter a few times, didn't he, in the Daniel Craig films. So what am I talking about? Never mind. Right. So that's License to Kill. A lot of fun. There we go. And Timothy Dalton was a decent Bond. He was a decent Bond. He wasn't very good with the one-liners, though. They kind of dropped him for this one, didn't they? Next up, When Harry Met Sally. One of my favourite films of all time. I try and watch it at least once a year, usually at the end of the year, because it's kind of a Christmas/New Year's film. A good comedy, directed by Rob Reiner, starring Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan. It's got Carrie Fisher in it as well, and Bruno Kirby. And it is a lovely film about a man and a woman who become friends, and then not friends, and then friends again, and then they end up falling in love, and then they don't become friends again, and then they end up getting married. But it's great, and obviously it's famous for the scene in the deli or the restaurant or whatever. It's more like a cafe than a restaurant, isn't it? Where Meg Ryan fakes an orgasm. So there we go. Just to show how easy it is for women to do that. Why did Billy Crystal try and fake one while he were at it? Should have done. Anyway. See, Buddy Quest is just naming films now. He's just naming films from 1989. Weekend at Bernie's, The Abyss, Clue, yes, that one's in there. Slipstream. No, why would Slipstream be in there? It's shit. The Batman. Batman 89, yes, I think that's in there as well. Anyway, next up. Which is this? Is this the third one? Or is it the fourth one? I've forgotten already. Anyway, let's see. The Abyss. There you go. The Abyss from James Cameron. Amazing film. Groundbreaking effects at the time. James Cameron put the whole cast and crew through hell, but they got a great film out of it. It took ages to come out on in high definition, didn't it? Just available on DVD for the longest time. But eventually it did come out. I think only last year, wasn't it? It came out on Blu-ray. But top film about aliens from beneath the sea, from the abyss. And it's that's a starring Ed Harris, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, Michael Biehn as the baddie, and various others. And it is a cool film. It's about a drilling rig under the sea, not when you see, not like an oil rig, one that's at the bottom of the sea, 2 miles down or something like that. And they've got to go and rescue a submarine that's gone down, because the USOs, unidentified submersible objects. But anyway, so they've got to go and sort that out, and that's it. And action and adventure ensues. Great film. Quest says original was rubbish, but the special edition was outstanding. What, original The Abyss? No, it was still good. It was made better by the special edition, because they added some extra scenes, didn't they? But anyway. So there we go. So that's The Abyss. That's I think that's number 4. And number 5, I think. Oh no, that was number 5. So that's 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, Indiana Jones. I forgot about that one. Yeah. So there we go. So that's me. Me 5 top 5 favourite films of 1989. Bloody cats. What's up with you? What you doing? Bloody cat's lurking. What's the matter? Do you want to go out? No, he's having an emergency wash. What are you looking at me for? You're being fed? The animals, bloody animals. Right, so we'll get on to the honourable mentions now. So let's get rid of that. I haven't done a video this week of my honourable mentions. We're just going to go through them in order, looking at the posters. Right, so... It's going to be a quick show, is this, isn't it? Firing through these. Right, so, the honourable mentions. The first one, Deep Star 6, Henry. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Came out, well, in 1989, there were several films that came out about being the bottom of the sea. That's there were The Abyss, there were Deep Star 6, there were... what was the other one? Leviathan. Was that 1989? Which I've only seen once, and I can't remember what happens in it. And I think there were at least one other, but I can't remember. Hunt for Red October. I think that's in my list, although that's kind of different. But anyway, Deep Star 6. A lot of fun. Directed by Sean S. Cunningham, who did that Friday the 13th. I think he did the second. No, he did the first one, didn't he? I think. Stars people who I can't remember, but never mind. Oh, I know it's got Miguel Ferrer. He's got Miguel Ferrer in it, and other people. Greg, somebody or other. I can't read the writing on the poster there. Can we zoom in? Let's have a look. Oh dear. Greg Evigan. There we go. Why couldn't I remember Greg Evigan? There we go. And Nancy Everhard, is she? Oh dear. And Torian Black. I thought Greg Evigan were the main star. Why put these women first? Miguel Ferrer, Matt McCoy, Naya Peoples, Cindy, blah blah blah. People you don't know. But it is a lot of fun. Is Deep Star 6. Let's say monsters from the deep again. Not aliens this time. It's just like a monster. It's like a big crustacean thing with claws and stuff. And people get killed in various gruesome ways. And it's a hoot. It's a hoot. So I'm sure it's on streaming somewhere. So I'll give that one a whirl. Questions Leviathan, Evil Below, Lords of the Deep. I've not seen Evil Below. Don't know that one. I might have seen Lords of the Deep. That one does ring a bell, but I can't remember. Anywho, right, next up. The Fly 2. I love The Fly 2. Gets a lot of stick. I don't know why, but I think it's amazing. Obviously not as good as the first one, but it's different. It's different to the first one. It's about Seth Brundle's son, who's called Martin. Calls him Martin Brundle, not the racing driver / Formula One pundit commentator, played by Eric Stoltz, who likes donning the makeup, doesn't he, for his roles? But anyway, Quest says I never liked the Fly movies. Well, I did. I think they're all good. Even the ones from the 50s. The original The Fly, I think that's amazing as well. That's a classic. And the sequels to that, they're all right. They're all right. But anyway, starring Eric Stoltz, Daphne Zuniga, fresh off her role in Spaceballs. Lee Richardson as the bad guy, sort of. And John Getz returns briefly. From the first film. The only person to come from the first film. They didn't even get... I'm down blanking on names now. I forgot her name. Never mind. They didn't even get her back from the first film. She's in it. The character's in it, but they got another actress to play her. Because she dies. Spoiler. Directed by Chris Wallace. The special effects guru... who brought us the Gremlins in the original Gremlins film. And it's great. It's great effects, and it's super gruesome. Really gory in places. But Cyborg was 18. I have no idea. I don't know. I've seen Cyborg and it's rubbish. It's rubbish. But anyway. So there we go. That's The Fly 2. Next up. Fright Night Part 2. This one's got some weird... It's hard to come by as the Fright Night Part 2. It was... some weird rights issues, so it, like I say, wasn't available like on DVD or whatever for a long time. Still might not be. I don't know. It's really, if you can get, if you look on eBay, I think they go for quite a lot of money. The Fright Night Part 2 DVDs. What are you up to? This bloody cat. What are you doing? Get on your cushion. Go on. Go to sleep. I think he wants to go out. I'll go let him out. Boot him out. Just bear with me. I will put the back in a minute thing on if I can find it. Just bear with me. Where is it? There it is. I'm back. He's gone out. Where were we? Friday Night Part 2. Brings William Ragsdale, I think, back as Charlie Brewster, and Roddy McDowall back as Peter Vincent, vampire killer. But her that, I forgot her name, her that plays the love interest in the first film, doesn't come back. But he gets another girlfriend who is super hot, in my opinion. But it's about the sister of the vampire from the first one, Jerry Dandridge. It's about his sister, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. She comes back to wreak revenge on the human who killed her brother. And it's great. It's a lot of fun. With some great effects. Directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. And it is really, really good. It's really, really good. So if you can get it, watch it. I don't even know if it's on any streaming services. Let's check. See if it's on Amazon. See if it's on Amazon in the UK, obviously. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Prime Video. I bet it's not. Fright Night Part 2. There's the remake with Colin Farrell, which, you know, it's not rubbish, but it's alright. And there's Fright Night 2, The New Blood, which is kind of a remake of the first one again, sort of, but a bit like this one and the first mixed up. It's not very good. The original Fright Night, no, this one's not in there. You can get it on Blu-ray now. Spanish import, plays in English, it says, for 20 quid nearly. There you go. So, no, you can't watch it on streaming, at least not in the UK. There you go. See, Quest is Googling his 1989 films. Pet Sematary, bloody, I hate Pet Sematary. I do bloody hate that film. Build a fucking fence, and then oh god. Yes, that one's in my list. I think that one's to come. My favourite Friday the 13th film. I know it's rubbish, but it's still my favourite. I feel like nothing is free on Prime over here. Well, nothing's free ever, is it, really, to be honest? Sucks to have 187 different streaming services and 12 movies on each one. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you might see a poster for that. And Back to the Future Part 2, yes, you might see a poster for that one as well. Right, so that's Fright Night Part 2. A lot of fun if you can get hold of it. Next up, Ghostbusters 2. It's basically the Ghostbusters 1 again, but not as good, but still, you know, still fun, and features Ivan Reitman? Yeah, Ivan Reitman's son. I forgot his bloody name now. Jason? Is it Jason Reitman? Don't sound right. Who would go on to direct the new Ghostbusters films? Anyway, 5 years later, and Vigo, the Carpathian, comes out of a painting somehow and starts wreaking havoc in New York City on the dawn of the last day of the second to last millennium, decade of the millennium, something like that. I said something like that on the trailer. I thought, bloody hell, a bit of a stretch for that one. Ivan Reitman comes back. All the gang are back. It kind of, people have said it's more a sequel to the real Ghostbusters cartoon than than the first Ghostbusters film, which I suppose it is kind of. I never really watched the cartoon one. I think I saw maybe the odd episode, but because some of the characters act completely differently, particularly Annie Potter's character. I forgot the name now. Her character's totally different in this film than she was in the first film, but never mind. But standout role, Peter McNichol as Janosch Pohar. Janosch, where the hell are you from? The Upper West Side? A child. Great, innit? I love that film. Anyway, so there we go. Anywho, let's catch up on the chat. Justin's saying, yeah, this list is excellent so far. My lists are always excellent. Well, I think they are. Quest says, okay, I'll stop naming films. I presume you mean. My contrarian ass prefers Ghostbusters 2 and Back to the Future 2. Well, fair enough. Justin says, The Abyss is one of my all-time favourites. It is a cool film, is The Abyss. Really, really good. Hello, everyone. Hello, Justin. Hello to everybody. Right, next up. What's next after Ghostbusters 2? Batman. Not The Batman. Batman. Starring Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Pat Hingle. Who else is in it? I can't really remember now. Who's she? She won an Oscar for LA Confidential. It'll come to me. Just bear with me. Kim Basinger. That's the woman. Kim Basinger. However you want to pronounce it. Kim Basinger's in it. She's there on the poster. Look. For some reason, she's got a little box round her name. So probably an agent must have says she wants a box round her name on the poster. Billy D. Williams, Michael Gough, Jack Palance also features. He's not there, is it? But also features Porkins from Star Wars. I forgot the name of the actor now. Oh God, I saw him on a film the other day because I was going to add this film. No, not for this year. It's for 1990. There was a film I was going to add in my list, but cause I remember seeing it, but I couldn't remember if I liked it or not. So I found it and I watched it again. It was absolute garbage. I really hated it, and he was in that, and I've forgotten his name. Yes, Kim Basinger. But anyway, Batman, directed by Tim Burton. A great Batman, a great introduction to to Batman. It just it's not really an origin story because he is Batman. He is Batman in this, and he tells everybody that he meets that he's Batman. I'm Batman, and it's really cool. It is really cool. Filmed in the UK, so lots of British actors putting on American accents. Unless you're Michael Gough, who plays Alfred. Classic Alfred, Michael Gough. Jack Palance is cool as the crime boss. And obviously Jack Nicholson steals the show as the Joker. And cool film. I remember it were a phenomenon, pardon me, when it came out. It launched the franchise, well, relaunched the movie franchise, didn't it? With varying success. Right, what's next? There you go. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Rick Moranis in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's the only one I've seen. I've not seen any of the others. I've not seen Honey. I forgot the next one. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid and Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Is there any others? I don't know. I've not seen those, but I've seen this one. A great film, a lot of fun with some great effects in it, and especially when they're in the garden and dealing with ants and stuff like that. It's great stuff. Justin says, I like Batman 89, but love Batman Returns more. Yes, so do I. So do I. I think Batman Returns is my favourite Batman film. I think it's great. It's Batman Returns. Did you watch the TV show? What, Funny I Shrunk the Kids? I didn't even know there was one. I didn't even know there was one. My guess, no. I didn't even know there was a show of Funny I Shrunk the Kids. So there you go. So I've only seen this one. And it's really good. It's really good. And my son loves it as well. Particularly the bit where he's on the rotary drying washing line thing and the dog's making him spin round. But it's cool. It's cool. It's got Matt Frewer in it as well, hasn't it? Matt Frewer's in it as well as the belligerent neighbour. Who ends up getting shrunken a tiny little bit because his cap don't fit him anymore at the end, does it? When they put him right. But yes, anyway, Rick Moranis plays a... by the way, it's directed by Joe Johnston. We're going to do like Captain America, The Wolfman, and loads of other stuff. Rocketeer did Rocketeer as well. So as Rick Moranis is a scientist who invents a shrinking ray, and his family, his kids, get shrunk by accident, and all because of a baseball, I think, isn't it? So they get shrunk. So he's got to work out how to get them big again. But they go on an adventure in the garden and in bowls of cereal and stuff like that. Huge amount of fun. I like that film. I haven't seen it for a while. His head didn't fit because insert joke about headroom. Yes, see. That never even occurred to me. Yes, Max Headroom. Tell you. Yes, Matt Frewer played Max Headroom, didn't he? I love Rocketeer. Yes, it's a cool film, is Rocketeer. Good old-fashioned adventure. Anyway, next up. What's next after Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? There we go, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. This is the bottom of a lot of people's lists for Friday the 13th films, but I love it. It's my favourite, and I don't know why. Genuinely don't know why, because there are better Friday the 13th films, but I just love watching this one. I don't know. I just do. I think it's cool. And he only gets to Manhattan right at the end. It mostly takes place on a boat or a ship at sea, because apparently Crystal Lake empties into the sea. But there we go. Anyway, so on this boat, I think it's Kane Hodder. He's playing Jason this time. He played Jason 4 times. On a boat, going on it's like full of students who mostly disappear. They all vanish. Starts off that there's loads of these students on this boat, and then all of them disappear apart from like a core group of them who Jason starts killing off. Don't know what happened to the rest of them. But anyway, they're going to New York for like a school trip on this boat. They've rented this boat, so it's just them, and Jason's on board. Murdering people. It's not particularly the goriest of the Friday the 13th, but it is fun. And I say they arrive in Manhattan, although it wasn't filmed in Manhattan. It was mostly filmed in, I think, Toronto, somewhere like that, or maybe even Vancouver. I can't remember. Somewhere in Canada. It were filmed, but they did the one scene in Times Square, and it's worth it just for that. It is worth it just for that. So there we go. So that's Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Next up, Little Mermaid. If you don't like this, you're not a human being. Question's going to say, I hate the Little Mermaid. It's for kids. but anyway. The film that relaunched Disney animation, because it were in the doldrums, wasn't it, with Disney animations for many years, from like the 70s and the 80s. The films never reached the heights that they had before, but then this came along and started up the Disney animation greats again. It's a lovely film with some great songs in it, and I haven't seen the live action remake, so I can't tell you what that's like. I'm sure it's poo. Why remake this? I don't know, but it is a lovely film with some great catchy tunes. So there we go. So that's The Little Mermaid. Next up, Back to the Future Part 2. directed by Robert Zemeckis. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, him that plays Biff, whose name I've forgotten. It was on Critical Drinkers channel. Yes, last night I think. He was interviewing him, a Critical Drinker, on his channel. I've forgotten his name. Thomas, somebody or other. Can't remember. All they come back and in a great time travel adventure where he goes to the future of 2015 with flying cars and stuff like that. I must have missed that bit out, but of history, we skipped over that for us. But he's got to go back to the future and save his family because it all goes wrong. And they do that, but then something else happens, and he's got to go back to the 50s again and sort all that out because things go wrong, time travel shenanigans, and it's a lot of fun, and it's Win Grace's favourite film of all time. I've just decided. So there we go. Anyway, back to the chat. We'll catch up on some chat. Where were we? Rocketeer felt similar to Forever Young. Did they come out around about the same time? Forever Young was the Mel Gibson one, wasn't it? I think. Was it that one? Which, whatever. I saw it at the time, and, I think my ex-wife liked it more than I did. Just says, I like it for what it is, but it's the worst one, but yet I still like it. I think it's on about Friday the 13th. Part 8. I'm a huge fan of Jason Voorhees, says Quest. I like The Little Mermaid. So does Justin. And he likes this as well. So there we go. Back to the Future Part 2. Great film. Really good film. Not a massive fan of the third one. It's in my list for, I think it's 1990 it came out. So next time we do this, it's in there. Because it is still a good film. But, I don't think it's as good as the other. Because, I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Right. What's next? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. A few years ago, I probably wouldn't have added this because I'd seen it, obviously. But I don't know. Yeah, I've kind of got to really like it in these last like 2 or 3 years. I think I've come to appreciate it. That's a Chevy Chase and shenanigans at Christmas. Can't really tell you. There's a turkey and a tree that's too big and. What's he called now? Is Randy Quaid, his brother-in-law, whatever, getting up to his tricks. Thinks he's going to get a big bonus so he can buy something special. I can't remember, a jacuzzi or something. I don't know. Something is wants to spend it on. It don't happen. But anyway, Christmas Vacation, lot of fun is that film. Who directed it? Somebody I've never heard of. But anyway. Right, next up, Always. This is the one I said last week. You might be surprised about this edition. Always makes me cry. Always makes me cry, as always. But not for, I don't know, not for the reasons you might think. It's the bit where John Goodman basically gets angry at Holly Hunter because she's... Richard Dreyfuss... it's a Steven Spielberg film, by the way. Richard Dreyfuss plays a pilot who flies... what they call them, like tanker aircraft that drop water on forest fires. I don't know what they call them. He flies one of those and gets killed while doing it, and then he comes back as a ghost. I think it's kind of a remake of a man. Is it A Man Called Joe? Something like that. And he comes back, and he's got to make sure that his girlfriend at the time, Holly Hunter, is okay, but she's not. She's mooning over him. And John Candy's his best... not John Candy. John Goodman's his best friend. And the bit that always gets me going is when he goes in and tries to... He gets angry at Holly Hunter and he says, we all miss him too. And it sets me off. But anyway, it's a good film. I like Always. It's really good. Give it a go. Although I don't know where you can watch it because I haven't seen it for years. I've got it on VHS somewhere. I haven't seen it for a long time myself. So I'm going to have to find it and watch that. Quest says there were too few vacation movies. I don't know how many there were. I think I've only seen the Christmas one, to be completely honest. I've not seen European. And I don't know how many others there is. Well, there's the National Lampoon's Vacation. I have seen that one where they go into the theme park and it's closed. Spoilers. Well, they're just them three. I honestly can't remember. I don't know. But anyway, always a lovely film from Steven Spielberg. I don't know how you can watch that. Who knows? But anyway. Next up. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's it. That's the end. Oh, we're done. We're done. Right, so we'll go through the list one more time. I just have to fire up the old... I've done this wrong. The other lot. Oh, yes, that was number 11. Oh, cool. Right, so let's put that back to the beginning. Right, so go through the list one more time for posterity. If I remember to add it. Right, first up, number 1 was Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. That was... Oh, PC. That was followed by Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Then we had License to Kill, James Bond. Then When Harry Met Sally, lovely film, one of my faves. And then The Abyss, great film from James Cameron. Put the crew and cast through hell, but it was worth it. That's it. That's my 5 favourite ones. Quest says, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, but it's not in my favourites. Don't make me favourites list. There's you could have, of all the films that came out in 1989, but lots of them that haven't made my list. Where were we? Oh, right. And then then there's the honourable mentions. I've got to go to them now. Right. So, and then in the honourable mentions, where the heck is it? Here we are. And in the honourable mentions, we had Deep Star 6, Save Your Last Breath to Scream. Henry? That's what you got to say. Oh, for Pete's sake. Then The Fly 2. I'm feeling better. That's what he says, doesn't he? And then crushes a man's head in an elevator thing. Pop. So that's The Fly 2. Then we had Fright Night Part 2. Great film. Ghostbusters 2. Lots of 2 films in there. Ghostbusters 2. Batman with Michael Keaton. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Friday the 13th Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Although he don't really. He visits. The Little Mermaid. Classic Disney animation. Back to the Future Part 2. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You'll Crack Up. And finally, Always, with Richard Dreyfuss, Steven Spielberg film, and it's lovely. So there we go. So that's my top 5 favourite films of 1989 and honourable mentions. So there we go. Right. That's it. That was a quick one, wasn't it? That was a quick one this week. So, right. What has 1990 got in store? I'll give you a clue. When I get rid of these. Just bear with me. If I can find my list. Where the hell have I put it? It's here somewhere. Just bear with me. There we go. Top 5 movies. Let me scroll down. To 1990. Whoa, steady on. Gone too far. Right, where are we up to? 1990. Right. So, clues and some more sequels. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 films with 2. 4 direct sequels in there. Another one set under the sea. As I said earlier, Back to the Future Part 3. I'll tell you that one. That one's in. But is it in my top 5? I'm not telling you that. Quest says 1990. I'm sure I can remember a few dozen or so. Yes, there's a lot. How many honourable mentions have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 honourable mentions for 1990. And the film I was going to add, and then watched and thought it was shit, well, Hardware. I'm sure I'm going to get, hog piled on for not liking Hardware. I remember watching it when it first came out. Film by Richard Stanley. About a killer robot. It's like a future apocalyptic movie about this killer robot. I remember watching it first came out, and I didn't like it then, to be honest. And I thought, well, I'll give it another whirl and see if I do like it, because people rave about Hardware. I think mostly they just remember the head of the robot being spray painted with the stars and stripes. They think must be a good film. It's bloody rubbish. Got me really angry. It's a good idea for a film, and there are some good bits in it, but Richard Stanley's too busy trying to be an auteur and a blooming arty-farty filmmaker rather than getting on with the story. But anyway, that's by the by. So I'm going to just erase that. I did star it. I put some stars next to it. So, right, bye, Hardware. You're not in. What else is in there? We've got a western, and like I said, lots of sci-fi, and let's say some sequels, and a bit of horror thrown in there, and a war film as well. So there we go. And a bit of Stephen King as well, a bit of that thrown in. So that's for 1990. That'll be in a couple of weeks anyway, because next week, fingers crossed, if I get through, I'm halfway through season 6 of Star Trek Next Generation. I'm struggling for some reason. I don't know why. I'm struggling to get through season 6. Really am. I've been watching it for like 2 weeks. I'm struggling to get through. I keep getting interrupted trying to watch it. I'm halfway through. What have I just started watching? What episode? Face of the Enemy. Bloody a Deanna Troi episode, which is a good episode apart from Deanna Troi, because she just stands with her mouth open all the way through the film. But anyway, episode. But never mind. Right, we're done. We'll leave it there. So, thanks Quest and Justin and Windgrace, and did anybody else pop in? No, don't think anybody else popped in. And welcome to the new members. Who I've forgotten already. Quest is a new member because I gifted some memberships. Where is it? Clifton 3D. Not that he's here. Quest is a member again now, and President-elect Jackie Bird, the Scottish Geek guy, Laura Smith, they're all new members. So congratulations are in order, maybe. But anyway, we'll leave it there. What time is it? What shall I do? I suppose I should carry on watching Star Trek, shouldn't I? I was just thinking, shall I play a game? Shall I stream a game? Nah, I can't be bothered. I'll do it tomorrow, maybe. I've still got Tomb Raider Legend to finish, haven't I? We're getting there, slowly. Anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say the... Now then, I've got to find the right outro video. Where is it? There it is. I'll say the...